Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Reset. 19. Come on. You better break. Hey, 24. 57. Come on. Go.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go. 24.
Here's Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Thomas, the intended target. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front line.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 4th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Broncos' 44-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
16. I'm coming, 16. You run.
Watson off play action. Rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watson. He's got Smith here. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Reset. Check 88. 957. Check. Watch twins. 959. Let him go.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Lock now on first down. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Lock to throw on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. But they watch the film as well, so they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Mack, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The end result, 21 yards.
First down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
A throw out wide to QT, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Again, it's Watson. Being chased out under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Lightning speed there on the sack from the corner, Duke Dawson. Texans football to start quarter 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 27, Locke, blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
I don't think you got it, son.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Now a toss play. This is Mack. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have retaken the lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 7, Lock. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, exit. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Ready?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Man left, man left. 4 down.
From just shy of midfield, Lock. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the Texans' 32-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Lock throwing on 2nd down. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it's now 17-14. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Mack. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2.
Just like that. Check 44. Down, turn him.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
This is it. 19. Keep tight end. Keep tight end. 40. 45. 49. Check 49.
From the gun on third, Watson. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 20-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the left.
There goes Melvin Gordon. 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
A gain of 14.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And they move this all the way down to the 9. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Mack, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
The keeper.
Marlon Mack, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw it is Locke. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Locke working out of the gun. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on out to our studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their program. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Play action. Now it's locked. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 13. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears.
From the gun, here's Watson. It's caught. Smith.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there, yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back, no bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you. Check it back.
To the air yet again, Watson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed. And now this offense set up nicely at midfield. Now Gordon on 1st down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Lock now. 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
10 Lobo. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Get it.
Shotgun snap to Locke. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Going for it all. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Vincent Smith with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will get them one closer. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Bring it.
Lock now on first down. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. On second down, here's Locke. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. O.J. Howard, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Vecchio to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they get into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 46 yards.
First down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run it here with Gordon. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Running with Howard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. Gordon, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go.
Now it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete.
Big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Watson. Open man is QT, complete. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Let's go. 10 over.
42-yard line.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.